Welcome in. Happy Sunday night. And who's ready to reset some of the chaos that we've seen in the discourse surrounding the 49ers quarterback situation? I figured a nice little casual discussion here on Sunday evening to get you going into these, 6-7 weeks of off time for the 49ers would be necessary, especially at the quarterback position, because guess what? People were already starting to get bored, and there were already some ridiculous takes and ridiculous narratives being tossed out there. Wouldn't expect any less, but we always have to set the record straight. The arguments surrounding the 49ers quarterback position, and for some reason they've followed Jimmy Garoppolo and now Brock Purdy around a lot, are who gets the credit, Kyle Shanahan or the QB? And it's always such a polarizing kind of thing where people cannot just live in the gray area, and they have to give it to either the coach or they have to give it to the quarterback. And I think a lot of the narrative surrounding Kyle Shanahan is that, oh, he's creating all of these quarterbacks. It doesn't matter who goes under center, they're going to succeed. Well, aside from that not being true, and that's demonstrably not true because we've seen quarterbacks fail under Kyle Shanahan. Aside from that, there's also the major problem of some of the same people trying to say that Kyle Shanahan can't develop quarterbacks. So Danny G on Twitter made this. I made this as well, but I got to give him credit because I think he made it first. We were just thinking alike, though, at the same time. This is one of those dual buttons where the guy's really, really sweating. At the bottom is your typical social media troll, let's say, for the 49ers quarterback situation. He doesn't know what button to press. Shanahan doesn't develop quarterbacks, or Brock Purdy is only good because Kyle Shanahan. See, you can't have it both ways, right? It's completely asinine to try to have it both ways, but people will try to have it both ways because they don't like Brock Purdy. They might not have liked Jimmy Garoppolo in the past. They're trying to push their own guy. I don't know what the reason is, the underlying reason. I mean, you have to probably go deep into human psychology to find out why, but for some reason, people cannot reconcile some of these two things. But the truth is that this is a team sport. So when we're going to be measuring the quarterback position moving forward into this next year for the 49ers, and we're going to be comparing it against what they've done already under Kyle Shanahan, we're going to be looking at this through the lens of, yes, the QB needs to perform, but so does the O-line, so do his weapons, so does the play caller, so does, the schedule. Some days you're going to be playing a better defense than other days, right? And that's going to affect your performance. But at the end of the day, your aggregate efficiency as a quarterback, and I'm not talking just completion percentage, I'm not talking just raw stats like touchdown to interception ratio, I'm talking about aggregate efficiency, something like EPA per play, DVOA, something that's a little bit more sophisticated. The cream is going to rise to the top. And you're not going to only credit one guy. You're going to be able to credit the QB. You're going to be able to credit the play caller. You're going to be able to credit the receivers, because this is a team sport. Football is a beautiful thing because it's not one guy against everyone else. So no matter how much people are going to want to blame or credit one person, it just doesn't work that way. So when we do evaluate that quarterback position this year, let's take a look at the quarterback efficiency from last season. I've highlighted some key names, the names associated with the 49ers this season. Now, I set the minimum to 180 plays because that's how many Sam Darnold had over the final 6 games of 2022 with Carolina. Those were the games that Sam Darnold started. All right, here's our top 10 EPA, expected points added per play for a quarterback. So this is how efficiently is the particular offense operating with that QB in there. So again, this is not just the QB. This is everybody. This is how's the line performing? How's the play caller meshing with the quarterback? How are the weapons performing? How is this quarterback playing point guard? Because that is the job of the QB, especially in the modern NFL, is to distribute the football. And especially in Shanahan's system, and it just so happens that in Carolina's system, where Sam Darnold was playing last year, they did a lot of ball distribution as well, a lot of yak to set up for the Panthers. And you can see that Jimmy Garoppolo was really damn good last year. Brock Purdy was really damn good last year. Sam Darnold was really damn good last year. Unfortunately, our sample for Trey Lance is too small, but we can start with expectations for Purdy, because this was a ridiculous thing going around the other day. Somebody was saying, oh, well, Oh my God. He's got to be a lot better than Jimmy Garoppolo because otherwise this is a complete failure for the 49ers. They need somebody that's way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Guys, objectively speaking, Jimmy Garoppolo ran the offense extremely efficiently. He was not just a guy. This is a quarterback that helmed NFC championship and Super Bowl runs. You don't do that if you suck. And don't tell me that the 49ers defense was, oh, they're top 5 defense. They're going to make it the whole way. The offense, per the efficiency stats, was also top 5 in the seasons that they made it to or close to the pinnacle. The pinnacle, the Super Bowl, obviously, in 2019. The 49ers had, I think, the number 6 offense. Okay, we'll put it that way. But they really caught some fire late in the year when the defense started leaking oil. And in 2021, it was a top 5 offense. So you have to have both sides of the ball. And I'll say this for Brock Purdy. It's at the bottom of the screen right now. If Brock Purdy can continue to match Jimmy Garoppolo's efficiency, which he essentially did last year, not quiet, but essentially did, the 49ers are going to be in a really good spot. If, Brock Purdy comes out there post-elbow surgery and continues to give them top 6, or in the case of Garoppolo, even top 3 efficiency, and Jimmy, he was number 1, and Purdy, after the activation of Christian McCaffrey, the trade for McCaffrey, it thrusted Garoppolo all the way up to 1. Purdy was top 5 even as a rookie. I mean, these are the numbers that you look for from a quarterback to run your system. You see these success rates, over 50% for Garoppolo, near 50% for Purdy. That's awesome stuff. That's what the 49ers want to see more of. So, no, it wouldn't be a bad thing if Brock Purdy, people are saying, oh, Brock Purdy's skill set, the way he runs the offense looks a lot like Jimmy Garoppolo did. Yeah, that's great. That's what the 49ers want. That's the point. Health is the main variable to fix in the quarterback room. They're willing to pay Jimmy Garoppolo because they loved what he put on tape in 2017. They liked more of what he put on tape in 2019, 2021, then in 2022. But guess what? In all of those years, except for 2019, he got hurt. So a lack of health was the main problem. Ironically or fittingly, a lack of health was the main problem last season with Brock Purdy because he got hurt in the NFC Championship game. 49ers were on their way to the Super Bowl in all likelihood. I thought they were better than Philadelphia. Sue me if you think differently. But that team was a juggernaut. The 49ers were steamrolling their competition. Number 1 offense, number 1 defense, top 5 special teams. Boom, Purdy gets hurt. So health is the main variable to fix in the quarterback room, because if you have it, you have a demonstrated ability to have quarterback play that is top tier. And who cares if you're crediting the play caller more, or if you're crediting the offensive line more, or Deebo Samuel or Christian McCaffrey more? That doesn't matter. What matters are the results, because the weapons are constant. They're a variable the 49ers have. And if you can get the results in the top 5, you have good enough quarterback play. Now, we have to bring in the 2 wild cards here. Where will Trey Lance and Sam Darnold's efficiency floor and ceilings be? Why don't we look at Darnold first, since I already had this open? But Sam Darnold last year in those 6 games with Carolina, again, I've talked about this before. He was damn good in those 6 games for Carolina. EPA, that would have been 9th among qualifying quarterbacks. Of course, there's a sample size question here. But here's a stat for you. The 49ers last year led the NFL in yards after the catch per reception, which is as much of a quarterback stat as it is a receiver stat too. The QB has to, timing-wise, has to deliver the throws with the precise timing to set up yards after the catch, and also with the precise accuracy to set up yards after the catch. So again, yak per reception, team stat, doesn't work if your play caller and your quarterback are not in lockstep and that QB isn't delivering. So the 49ers were number 1 in the NFL in yak per reception all the way until the final 6 games of the season. Over the final 6 games of the season, the 49ers were number 2 in yak per reception. Guess who was number 1? Carolina. Guess who started the final 6 games for the Panthers? Sam Darnold. You bet that Kyle Shanahan noticed that Sam Darnold was doing a good job distributing the football to set up yak, because that's exactly what the 49ers like to do. So with Carolina, with some positionless skill position weapons, Laviska Shenault, no more Christian McCaffrey, obviously. The guys like Shenault on that team. DJ Moore was still on that team. McCaffrey was with the 49ers. Probably makes what Darnold did efficiency-wise even more impressive. with those guys and that system, Darnold was able to attain top 10 efficiency over 6 games. So small sample, yes. But the 49ers believe it's enough of a sample to intrigue them to see what Darnold can do in their system. Now you ask where Lance might be. Well, here's state of the 49ers quarterback edition. Red is bad, blue is good. This top third right here, 2022, that's where Lance was through the monsoon in Chicago and the game against Seattle where he got hurt. Tiny sample, terrible efficiency. It was better in 2021, but it was still really volatile for Lance in 2021. High adjusted net yards per attempt, good DVOA, but the EPA per game was bad, which is weird because you don't normally see those numbers not corroborate. You normally see all blue or all red. And its success rate was terrible. So that's the percentage of plays in which he's delivering a positive play was really bad. So it was boom or bust for Trey Lance with bad accuracy metrics, CPOE, in both seasons, 2021 and 2022. Does that mean that Trey Lance is condemned to stay in that rough spot? No, he's not. 49ers think that his ceiling is a whole lot higher than that. But does that mean that he's anywhere close right now to where the other options, and obviously Garoppolo is not an option, so Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold are? No. Lance still has to prove that he can deliver that kind of efficiency. But this is the goal, and this is how 49ers quarterbacks will be measured, like it or not. They're going to be people coming out saying, oh, it's EPA, it's a team stat. Yes, it's a team sport. We're measuring how the most important piece of a team, the quarterback, is orchestrating a particular offense. So Jimmy Garoppolo was efficient. Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't stay healthy enough. The 49ers would be thrilled if they can get that kind of efficiency moving forward out of Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold. And here you could see the context of what's happened. Now, in the case of Purdy, we say, oh, he looks a lot like Jimmy Garoppolo, but there's one big difference. Faster burst than Trey Lance. Probably a faster burst than Sam Darnold, although we'll see. Darnold has a nice skill set that might combine physically with the 49ers like of Lance and Purdy. But when you look at Brock Purdy, the escapability due to his 10-yard burst, that quick burst to get out of the pocket, that gave the 49ers a little bit different dimension. And what it did is gave Purdy a potentially higher ceiling in terms of these efficiency stats moving forward. Now, can he leverage that and, actually realize that higher ceiling? Well, he's going to have to get better at other things, some of the standard stuff like delivering from the pocket. So it's all a work in progress, but this is how we can measure it. This is how we can keep the chaos at a minimum. All right, everybody, hope you had a good Sunday evening. That's it for now. I got a lot more content coming this week. Just wanted to give you a little Sunday refresher on how that QB mess is going to be sorted out for the 49ers moving forward. It's about efficiency within the context of the offense. How you work with Kyle Shanahan is just as important as how Bill Walsh worked with Joe Montana and Steve Young, right? Mike Shanahan, how he worked with Steve Young. Everybody deserves credit. Everybody deserves blame. It's a team sport, and QB's got to fit within that framework. Everybody take care.